From the voice of Honest Trailers, it's Epic Voice Reviews, and read your comments at the end.
Now in theater.
Disney remakes another of its animated classics into a live-action movie. And by that I mean one real human actor in a mostly computer-animated world full of computer-animated characters. But they finally got it right. It's everything I loved about the original and more.
Christopher Walken made the movie for me. But besides that, the first thing you see when you open up, it feels just like the Jungle Book animated movie. I'm not saying it's a best version of the Jungle Book book, but the best remake that they could have made on the animated classic Disney movie. And it had that opening background music. Even the credits made me want to buy the soundtrack. I mean, my only complaint was that I wanted to see more Ka. Ka was my favorite character. That's the snake, voiced by Sterling Holloway, and now voiced by Scarlett Johansson, and I freaking loved it, but I wanted to see more, and I didn't get to see more. There's little things here and there that I'm sure that they'll nitpick about in the Honest Trailers, but, I mean, it was targeted at children. If you have kids that are kind of under 8, then you might want to rethink taking them to see this, or maybe watch it at home where they feel a little safer, because even Kaylee jumped quite a bit, and she's 8. But overall, freaking fantastic movie.
It's the greatest film I've ever seen. Christopher Walken as King Louie. You can't go wrong. Come on. Ooby-doo. I want to be like you.
5 stars. A perfect film. Could have been the best animated movie of the year if it hadn't been for that one real kid. A must-see. Disney's Jungle Book. Rated PG. If you've ever played a first-person shooter video game and thought this would make a really awesome movie, then you'd be partially right. In the most FPS movie ever made that will change your perspective on films, with a ton of action and a little story you will struggle to understand because you'll be distracted by the seizure-inducing shaky cam.
I mean, this movie was freaking hardcore. I mean, that's why it has the name Hardcore Henry. But, I mean, you do struggle to understand throughout the film. I mean, there's accents to deal with, but it's not so much the accents that made it hard to understand the plot. It was more like you're being distracted by what's on screen, and sometimes the hand gestures were overly over the top, but I mean, it did feel like a bunch of cutscenes from a video game made into a film. And sometimes it's just downright ridiculous, which is why I didn't give it 5 stars. There's 2 or 3 moments which is just completely stupid, but it's stupid fun. This reminded me of everything I loved about the 80s and 90s movie. They just no holds barred, complete blowing people away, and this just, I mean, like Terminator type movies where it's just nonstop action, craziness, and nudity and stuff that we could never ever get away with back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, if you're a fan of the 80s and 90s movies, you're gonna be like, man, this feels like I'm a kid all over again. I wasn't allowed to watch that kind of stuff, and I'm not saying that I support those kinds of films. I'm saying if you're a fan of that genre, you'll freaking love this.
4 stars. Definitely better to watch in theaters or a really, really big TV, but with a surround sound system. Hardcore Henry. Rated a really, really hard R because of all the violence, drugs, and tons of beers. Kevin Costner tries yet again after 3 Days to Kill to follow Liam Neeson's footsteps into the Seniors Can Still Be Action Stars Club, a slightly different, less cheesy version of Face Off.
I mean, it was okay. It was never like just, this is the greatest movie ever made. I mean, it was just kind of one of those movies that's kind of there, and it's like, yeah, if you want to watch it, that's cool. If you don't, you're not going to miss anything. It's definitely more of a Redbox rental to me. It's something that I would have watched on cable. It came on and be like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And I kind of wish there was more Ryan Reynolds in it, but I thought Kevin Costner did a good job of playing the part. It just wasn't a super strong, it's just another generic villain trying to destroy the world with nuclear launch codes kind of movie, and it just, it didn't fall flat, but it almost fell flat.
3 stars. Definitely worth a Redbox rental. Criminal. Rated R. Please support this channel at patreon.com/epicvoiceguy and get all of these awesome shirts from rippedapparel.com. Both links in the video description below. And now it's time for your comments. Tell me, do you bleed? You will. Sometimes there's a man. I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes, yeah. First, John Bailey is a real deal reviewer. Take me down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. The crappity crab craps over crabs, cause they just crap all over the crappity crab's crap that craps the crabs and crabs crap. Dragon Ball Evolution deserves an Oscar. The comments do not necessarily reflect the views of the Epic Voice Guy. Benedict Cumberpatch. Yes, I said it wrong, so sue me. If you like this video, share it and click subscribe. Click here for more Epic Voice Reviews. Click here for more imitation gaming videos.